strokes the three from the left wing.
Gagliardi, why not? He's feeling it. He's from three.
Goodness. Jr. down the lane, drops to Rainwater for a two-handed slam.
That's what you do. He will tear down a rim this year.
Largey able to blow by the pressure. Now a lob. Rivers throws it down. Cato tries it again. You bet. Caleb Cato, back-to-back threes.
Victory, baby.
Victory is sweet. Sweet victory, to quote SpongeBob. I could go on all day because we are both here and we are both excited. This is your boy, Russell Kelly, on the mic here with Dawson Jordan.
We got DJ Dawson J up in the heezy. That was my email at AOL.com growing up.
Mine was Detex Rattlesnake at Yahoo, at AOL. Hey, look, Rhode Island Rams are rolling by. See you guys.
See ya.
Na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye.
Well,
anyway.
Well, without Elliot tonight, he is off in Antarctica backpacking.
Elliot is not here. He is in Georgia for Thanksgiving, visiting some family. And that's fine. We just hate him. But anyways, me, Russell, and Dawson Jordan are here, parked outside of Alico Arena after a massive, huge, amazing win over the Rhode Island Rams. And let me tell you what, like, this was, as a basketball game, this was a really fun game to watch. So now take that and add in the fact that, you know, we love FGCU basketball, and they beat, you know, technically a higher ranked opponent, Atlantic 10 conference opponent, by 1 point with a bunch of heroics. It was one of the best games I've seen in Alico Arena, and that's saying something. Just to clarify to everyone, it was a 67-66 win, and it was awesome. Tavian Dunn-Martin, he was 8 for 8 on free throws, and he sunk his last 2 to win the game. Dawson, what'd you think, man?
You know, I'm sitting there on the baseline the whole entire game, filming the whole game, so stay tuned for some really awesome video content coming out. But man, that brought me back to 2014 2015 ASUN games, and the first half we wouldn't tell that there was people there, but in the second half the atmosphere, it just felt so electric, just, you know, on that comeback, man. Like, I don't know, I just feel like we really took a step forward tonight. Like we said, that this game is going to set the tone, not only for this weekend, but the rest of non-conference play. I believe Russell wrote that in the article. And man, that was probably one of the best, as Russell said, like, basketball games I've seen in a while. And to be right there, and to have to hold in my fandom as I'm part of the media was a little bit too much to bear at times. I might have jumped up a few times and gotten another photographer's way. But we don't talk about that because we got the dub. I would say there was balanced scoring, but we were led by Tavian Dunn-Martin, Caleb Cato with 14 points. Tavian had 26, and not a single other player over 5 points. Thoughts on that, Russell?
You know, my thoughts on that are that it feels weird to say that, because it felt like the rock was spread so well in the game. Like, you never knew if it was going to be, you know, a random 3 from Zach Anderson or a random 3 from Dakota Rivers, or then Largey hits a 3 and Halverson hits a 3, and it's like they all did those things. They all hit a 3, and it felt like everyone had a piece of the pie. It's everyone had a little piece, and then you got Caleb with the 14 and Tavian with the 26 points, and it was an efficient 26 points and 14 points for Caleb. Caleb was 4 for 4 from beyond the arc, 5 for 7 from the floor. Tavian, 2 for 4 from 3, 8 for 13 from the floor. More importantly, like I said, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. And I mean, that's what's going to win you close games, is being clutch at the free throw line. So just having his experience, it was great. But one thing I want to ask you, Dawson, is, so obviously Rhode Island, they have a pretty damn stacked roster. Coach Fly said in the presser he would not be surprised at all if they were in the tournament, and I don't disagree. They have, you know, the Mitchell brothers, that essentially 2 centers in their lineup that are athletic enough to play at the same time as each other. both 6'9" and 6'10", 40-ish each one of them. Athletic. They're not shooters, but they're crafty around the rim. They're strong. They're good rebounders. They pulled down 12 and 16 points respectively, and just they have a lot of talent on that team. And it was really hard for us to score in the paint. It's kind of normally hard for us to score in the paint. We haven't had much offense out of the bigs in a long time, at least on the inside. But I'm just hoping that's not an issue going forward. But if you shoot well enough, it's not an issue going forward. I guess, what are your thoughts on specifically the quality of opponent that the team just beat, and I guess what that means about who they could potentially match up with going forward?
And like I said, as I was sitting on the baseline, I've seen my fair share of non-athletic teams come to Alico, and I've seen some real grown-ass men come into Alico, and they were athletic. I was looking in warm-ups, just some of these guys' shoulders, like Zach Johnson on steroids type deals. Man, these guys were the real deal, and I just think that the way we matched up with them was really impressive on the defensive end, I'd say. I mean, there were lulls where they were, like Russell said, like super crafty around the rim, super impressive. They kept running this play where they would throw it to the top of the key, and we would be late to the down low block, and they were just putting it in. I just think that it's super encouraging, because I think that in the ASUN there's not maybe one or two teams that I think we're gonna even remotely struggle with. Knock on wood, but I just the fact that we kind of crafted them in the second half was pretty incredible. We really had our heads on straight, and I think we moved the ball a lot better in the second half. It's kind of wild that we didn't feel like it, but we shot 42% from the three. Is that right?
Yeah, it's because in the first half it was 27% from three, and that was 3 of 15 in the first half. If it wasn't for two end of the half 3-pointers by Cato, it would have been 2 for 15. But anyway, the second half it was 7 for 11, 64%. So it's just because the second half was so damn good from three that the game ended up being good on the whole, despite the bad first half.
And let's just take a second to nominate Dakota Rivers Block of the Year. Man, he in the first half, he had a magnificent block that made me just gasp. But other than that, man, just super encouraged. I mean, I loved how we came back from 14?
I think it was 14.
It's 12 or 14 points. We really just started just moving the ball well. Tavian did a really great job facilitating the ball and driving to the hole when he saw the opportunity. Fearless, man. That when he drove to the basket with 2 minutes left or something like that and kissed it off the glass, it was just a work of art. I'm very encouraged. And something I was just thinking about, Matt Halverson 1 for 5. Austin Ritchie 2 for 7. That's not gonna continue. If we have guys cooking like that, and then Halverson and Ritchie go off on a night against a lesser, we don't play a team. Hands down, we don't play a team as athletic and as good as Rhode Island. The rest of the way, I would say they're better than Liberty, surely. Maybe that's the closest. I guess the closest. But I mean, man, ASUN play is gonna be amazing. ASUN tournament's going to be wild. And I think if, add Dakota Rivers to that list. I mean, he's in a little bit of a funk with the shooting. I mean, he'll hit them, but it just feels like we have a lot of shooters right now, and I've never even been able to, think about this with any of our past teams for the past 3-4 years even, that we have so many shooters that, could go off on any given night. And if they start contributing, if one of those guys hits at least 50% of their shots, we kind of start pulling away in the second half, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It's the luxury of having enough guys. I'm going to relate this to the New York Yankees and why I dislike them. They buy really good players from other teams that can't afford them. And when you have 9 all-stars on your team, if 8 of them have a bad game, but one goes 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBI, then you're going to win games, right? So anyways, to get off that soapbox, when I'm talking about FGCU basketball, when you have 4, 5, 6 guys who could go off from 3 at any given game. When 3 of them struggle in a game, 2 or 3 of them are going to have a great game. It's so unlikely that all of them are doing badly in a game, right? And everyone's going to have bad games and rough stretches and stuff, but then they're going to bounce back with, Caleb Cato today, like I said, 4 for 4 from 3. It was just really big time there. All right, that's going to do it after a huge win over Rhode Island. That's awesome. I wanted this to happen. I wished it, and it came true.
We did predict this.
We'll have to go back and listen. Everyone go back and listen. We maybe predicted this game as a win. I don't think we did, but maybe we did. Anyway, we're stoked after a big win, and we hope you are too. We got a big Thanksgiving tournament, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. Go get yourself fat on some turkey and then come out to Alico Arena. If you can't, follow along on social media. We will be posting content left and right, up and down, sideways. Stay tuned for Screecher Report, and thank you for listening.
Preparing for moments like this. I feel like we let 2 slip away earlier in the season. I feel like we came together as a team second half and put together some stops, and then the lid finally came off for us, and we started hitting some shots. So I feel like that's what helped us win.
Yeah, kind of to carry off what he said, we felt like we had 2 potential wins earlier in the season, and then just to be able to capitalize late down the stretch, I think it's a big win for our team and a lot of growth. So hopefully we can use that momentum to keep going.
Tavian, how much did it help that you had played these guys?
It kind of helped us because I was telling them before the game how aggressive they were on the glass. Some guys like shooting, some guys like going to the basket. So our coaches did a very good job of preparing us for this match. So I feel like give good credit to the coaches for getting us ready for today.
And talk about the last play where you got fouled. I mean, were you just trying to make something happen there? Or?
I was just trying to get as closest to the basket as possible. Just try to get up on the rim. If I miss, I figured Kev was going to tip it in for the win. So luckily we got the foul. So.
Caleb, how big was it to make those threes at the end of the first half there? I mean, it seemed like just like
huge.
Said the lid was kind of on,
Yeah, I think for me it's just good to see the ball go in the hoop. Kind of been struggling shooting, so it's always good to see the ball go in. And then just kind of let the flow of the game come to me, and then the opportunity presents itself to shoot it. So.
Yeah, Tavian, you're a guard at this point. You're playing point guard, scoring point guard. Got a lot of ability there. So in a game like this, where 26 points at the end of the night is a lot more than anyone else. And how do you sort of, balance between I'm gonna be the one who's scoring and look at all these guys I can pass to in a game like this where there was a few guys who were getting hot at different times during the game?
I would say it's my teammates. They believe in me to make shots. They believe in me to make plays at the end of the game. So I'm going to do my job to make sure that I'm making the right play for me and also my teammates. In the beginning, in the first half, I was trying to get my teammates involved, and Caleb got going, and that spread the floor open a little bit for me to get downhill. So I just do my part today, just to get the win.
How much of a boost is winning a game like this against an opponent like this help you guys? Hopefully, here you got 3 games coming up here.
I feel like it gives us a lot of confidence. That's an Atlantic 10 team. I played them for 4 years. They're really tough to beat, and our guys have faith and determination to win this game. So I feel like it's going to carry on, and we're just going to keep improving.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I think collectively as a group in the locker room, we know the games on our schedule, and we thought coming into this week we could kind of start something special here with Rhode Island, and then hopefully build on that into this week, because this is a busy week as far as games. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so hopefully we can take care of business this week and pick up 4 quality wins.
All right, Coach, just your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, I told our guys at halftime that we've now played multiple games. We've played 2 scrimmages against really high-level teams, and that was the worst half I've seen us play in terms of just not having the energy we normally have. We weren't playing with emotion and confidence like we normally do. Thought guys were turning down some shots. And so we kind of got into them at halftime and just said, guys, here's the good news. I've never seen this team, since we've been coaching this team, play that poorly, and you're only down 11. I said, so, if you just play the way you've played since we've had this group together, you're going to have a chance to win the game. And credit to them, they believe that, and that's what they did in the second half.
Coach, so there's moments in the game where certain lineups are making runs, and at least from my vantage point, the lead end up taking the lead. It's with about 10 minutes left in the game, and then, but you got to keep bodies fresh and everything. So it's almost a whole platoon swap. I guess, can you speak to the luxury of having the depth at this point in this season of being able to just sub out guys, put a guy like Cyrus in, who, is a guy who can take over a game on his own?
Yeah, well, it's funny, we were trying to keep, our most experienced guys out there as much as possible, and Coach Furr leaned over to me at like the 11-minute mark. He goes, are you going to have Caleb and Tavian play the whole half? I said, well, I'd like to. So we've got that luxury. I mean, you look down the list, Matt Halverson's a double-figure scorer in Division I. Austin Ritchie was a starter in the American. We know how good Luis is when he's fully healthy and in shape. So, Carlos Rosario didn't play tonight, and we think he's really, really good. We think he's going to help us win a lot of games. So, yeah, we are very confident in our group and our depth. It's going to be different guys, different nights. You guys have seen we've had different starting lineups already, multiple games. We're just going to have to figure out, where to get guys minutes, kind of ride hot hands. I thought Andre Weir gave us really nice minutes when he came in tonight. But yeah, it's a group that I don't look out there very often and say, oh man, we got to get that guy out of the game. He's just not quite good enough. It's just trying to manage getting guys that are really good players enough minutes to be as good as I think they are.
Looking forward to your next 3 games this weekend. What can you speak to what you guys can take from this, and what are you going to tell your guys? You guys took it to them this game, and looking ahead, what can we kind of take from this?
Yeah, well, I think it's a really good win. What I told our guys in the locker room, and I've been challenging them on this, to be tougher, to be more physical, and more than anything, to be more disciplined. And I thought, in the USC game, we played hard enough to win in the USC game, but we played uncharacteristic in terms of turnovers and shot selection. And so I thought tonight in the second half we were the tougher team. I thought we were the more physical team. I thought we were the more aggressive team, and best for us and what we're trying to get to, I thought we're the most disciplined team, and that's been my biggest kind of thing with these guys. They know that they've got good talent, so there's times that we kind of start getting a little loose with it and doing things out of character, throwing the ball behind our back and those type of things. So I think, what you have to caution, this is a big win. Rhode Island's a very good team. They're in the NCAA tournament. I will not be surprised. What you can't do is now come out against Western Michigan and not be ready to play. And we experienced that last year. We had a great win over Miami, and then we showed up against a good FIU team not ready to go. So that'll be my biggest challenge. Hey, tonight's awesome. Enjoy tonight, but then let's start, eat some turkey and then start prepping for taking care of business against Western Michigan.
Just thoughts on Tavian tonight, and especially there at the end. Obviously, it's the foul and makes the free throws.
Well, he's such a confident kid. You can't tell him. He had 6 turnovers, but he did so many good things. He's 8 for 13, 50% from the 3-point line, 100% from the free throw line, and it's nice when you got a guy when he's up at the line. There was no part of me that thought he was going to miss a shot, just because he's built for those moments. He loves big moments. He's been in those moments. I think Coach Sutton will tell you, I think he's now 4-1 against Rhode Island in his career, including his time at Duquesne. So we think he can be a very good guard in this league. But, it's going to be different guys, different nights for us. He's had a couple of big nights. Kevin Samuel's going to have big nights. Caleb Cato, Cyrus Largy. Matt Halverson came in and knocked in a 3, and Austin Ritchie, who we think are very capable as well. So, Tavian's just a gamer, man. He you can't tell him that he's 5. I'll say 5'8" to be nice to him, but you can't tell him that. He got a heart of a lion.
And the threes by Caleb there late in the first half.
Yep.
Things just didn't seem to be going right for you guys, and he
yep.
kept you in there?
Big shots by him. I mean, I've talked to Caleb about this even just personally. He's been through a lot in his career here, from a rebuild to COVID last year. I mean, Caleb Cato, with the work he's put in and the unbelievable ambassador for the program, he deserves to have some success. He does. He's earned that. And so I almost felt internally that when he made those shots, it was almost Caleb's way of saying, guys, we ain't going down this road. I've been down this road. We're going to stay in this game. I'm going to keep us in this game, whatever I have to do.
Can you speak to sort of the season so far and what Zach Anderson was able to do this game? He got a start, I think it was against USC. I don't think he started today, but plenty of minutes. And his numbers don't always sort of show up in the stat sheet, but then you see he has 3 steals and a couple 3 assists and rebounds and just playing solid man-to-man defense. It seems like
hard to take that dude off the floor. He really defends. He's one of our best communicators. He rebounds at a high level, and you saw he made another 3 tonight. The jump shot's coming, and if the jump shot fully comes, watch out. I mean, we joked last year and nicknamed him the problem as a freshman because he's a problem for other teams with his size and his length. And credit the kid. He spent all summer with me in his ear, driving him crazy, working on his footwork, working on his jump shot, and he's starting to see the fruits of that labor. But he's just a really high IQ and super just tough kid. I mean, it was a little bit, if you remember, when we beat Lipscomb in the ASUN tournament last year, I didn't feel like I could take him out of the game. I just couldn't afford to. And it's just, we're all comfortable when he's on the court for a variety of reasons.
You said you were kind of religious before Mobley hit those 2 threes. How were you on the last second shot there?
Yeah, I got religious again real quick. It seemed like that ball was in the air for a long time. I was joking with the officials because we told our guys, we said, fellas, you got a foul to give. So let them inbound the ball. Let's foul him. I actually thought Tavian stole it clean, to be honest with you. It looked clean to me, but whatever. Yeah. So we told him, take the foul to give, and then after that, do not foul. And also, I thought they got a little cleaner look than I wanted them to. I wanted them to have to take a shot farther out. But when that ball left his hands, that's one of those you just go, please don't let this happen. Don't ruin my Thanksgiving. So, ball was in the air a long time, but thank God he missed it.
And that's not being paid by Ajax.